I'm really generally a positive person, but I have to tell you, I am super mad with KDP this week. It's been one of those weeks. So if you want to hear my story about KDP and what happened to me, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and join me for the rest of this show. All right, so what happened to me was kind of, like I said, I'm normally a really, really positive person, but I had kind of a run-in with KDP, and it has to do with the whole news rules to low content, and you have to check the box, and low content books not guiding ISBNs any longer. So what really happened was that I submitted a book, and it's a prompt book. And so I kind of felt it was like a planner. And so I put it under low content. All right. And what happened is they emailed me back with a note, and I first got a note back that said, we've reviewed your book. We don't actually think it's low content. So we want to push it back to you so you can change it and add an ISBN. And okay, I kind of get that, but I don't understand why. I mean, I thought it was low content, but I guess it's not. I'm not really sure. It's kind of vague, right? The whole description of what low content is or isn't. And I kind of thought a prompt book was very similar to a planner in the sense that it really is meant for the person to write it. Now, I did have, a few sentences on every single page that were different, but yet I still kind of felt it was more on the low content side, which is fine, whatever. So they sent me, so I tried to go change it, and there was like there was an error in the page, and so I couldn't change it. And then they give me the email that you've probably all gotten, that we think your author name is confusing. Well, the author name I've been using for the past like 3 years. And so I emailed them back and said, what's wrong with my author name? And they said, well, we're upholding our decision and you just need to fix it. And that was it. And I said, okay, fine, I'll fix it. But there's an error in the page because you made me change from low content that I put it into moving it to a high content with an ISBN. So they sent me back a thing saying, just open up your, bookshelf and edit it. It's in draft mode. I said, I know that, but there's an error in the page and I can't fix it. And we went back and forth on this with them just telling me that I'm kind of stupid and can't fix it. But what I decided in the end is this ISBN, the whole low content, no content, there's going to be some problems around it. And I get that. And they're kind of confused as to what low content is and what isn't. But what I kind of came to the decision is I've had this pen name that they are now saying I can't use, even though I've used it for the past 3 years. For a while now, and I want to keep my books under that. So I kind of decided to, in a way, circumvent this. So I decided to buy my own ISBNs. So I spent $575 to buy 100 ISBNs for this author name imprint. So basically, this is going to be my publishing name now instead of my author name. And then I'm going to change what I had been using for my author name under this name. That's going to be the imprint. And then I'm going to use like real people names. So I guess part of this is good because I think in the long run, it is going to be expensive. And I know not everybody I know ISBNs are different for different countries. In the US, they're pretty expensive when you buy just one or two. So like I said, I bought 100 for $575. I think of it as an investment. It's going to take me a while to get through 100 because the books I create are like prompt books, or they're just a little bit more, they take more time to create. So it's going to take me a little while to go through them. But in the long run, I think it's going to be a really good thing to create my brand, build it up, have my own like publishing name and publishing imprint. It'll give some more credibility to my website. And so where I was really frustrated with KDP in the beginning, because I don't think low content is exactly yet. Maybe you guys are going through these trials and dramas. And then even that with the whole author names, I did want to caution you guys all on really, I think you can't pick like, I want to say publishing type names. My name didn't have publishing in it. It didn't have any of the keywords in it. It was kind of a name sort of, but it wasn't like a name. It wasn't like Ashley Schmidt, it was like words, but they weren't a name. because it was a brand name and not like an author name. So I want to caution you guys to start using names for your author names, like real names. Make sure you run them through Google. Make sure you run them through Amazon and see if there's the same, or you don't want to copy anything. Don't want anyone else who has the same author name on there, because they're going to start kicking stuff back. Like I said, this name was pretty benign and I've used it for 3 years and they kicked it back to me. And I tried to, request, can you have a look at it? And they're like, no, we're upholding our decision. We don't like any names like this. So I want to caution you on your name. I want you to think about, do your best on what you think low content is, but I want to let you know that they can, like, if you decide it's low content, they might kick it back and say, oh no, that's not low content. And honestly, I've heard a lot of people both ways, that they put something in one book, same types of books, one went low content and one didn't. I'm not sure. I don't think they know, but roll with that. And I wasn't so much frustrated with that. I was frustrated mostly with this whole author name thing. But I do want to caution you that they are being really strict with author names, and that's what my drama has been with KDP. We went through like 20 emails. I'm not sure if they won or I won, but I've decided to take this as a win and try and build up my brand as a brand name, as an imprint, and use it as a good thing rather than a bad thing. But I wanted to give you guys that information. So that's kind of all I had today to talk about. If you guys want to ask me any questions, feel free. I do my lives every Wednesday at noon, but I did want to caution you all, next week I will not be live. I am moving, so I will not be live because I'll be moving all my stuff. So for the next few weeks, you guys, I will have, I have quite a few taped. I'm going to have videos out pretty much 2 days a week. Definitely one on Wednesday at noon. So go make sure to check that out. But also I will have a lot of different other things. I have a lot of little tutorials coming up, some cool things I've learned in Canva. If you guys haven't, you can check out my digital note course. I'm going to have a video coming out the end of this week, kind of launching that. I've kind of talked about it, but I want you guys to know it's out there. Please check out my website. It's actually in the show notes. You'll see the new course right there. Okay, so who do we have? Sheila says, you're always positive, and I clicked immediately. Yeah, so I'm usually, like I said, I'm a positive person and I don't like to be, but I wanted you guys to know that people, even, who are in this business a long time, we get frustrated with KDP, right? Like we have problems with KDP too, and they change the rules, and that's really typical. So my week was, they've changed the rules on me. Okay, how can I deal with this in a way going forward? And I think that's what I think, you guys, in this whole publishing business, Amazon's going to change the rules because they're going to do what makes the most sense for them and for the most people on the platform, and to kind of kick out scammers. I get that. They're really trying to, not kick out me because I'm trying to do the right thing. They're trying to kick out other people who are not trying to do the right thing. But I got caught up in it, and that's fine. But I can figure out how to fix it. And that's kind of what you got to do. They'll do what they'll do, and you can do what you do, and just figure out a way to take something that happened and make it as positive as you can. Bailey says, I had an email too about one of my author names being confusing. I'm glad they ended up approving your name. Maybe I should try and kick back a few more times, but it was back and forth, and I just was like, it's so frustrating. I gave up. What was the issue I had in publishing your name? It said that it was that typical one they say where the author name can be confusing to our customers, which usually means you put keywords in your title or in your pen name, but mine doesn't really have keywords. It's more of a publishing brand type, like Happy Press or something imprint, right? It wasn't really anything that... It just didn't fit like keyword-ish, but they didn't like it. And I've used it for the past 3 years, so I'm not sure, whatever. It's fine. So now it's my imprint name and I have a bunch of ISBNs, and I think it'll be fine. A+ content. Bailey says you were doing A+ content and you chose the standard comparison chart. We're able to link your books and you add the ASINs to your book. Oh, you can do that now. That's really cool. I did not know that you could do that. That's really cool. Well, I guess now I have some new ISBN numbers. Maybe I can link some more stuff. I didn't know that you could do that with A+ content. I'm going to look into that. Okay. Second Spring says, I just had the same thing happen with my name. I know, it's so frustrating. They change the rules all the time. I was going close, more towards names and everything, but I'd had this publishing name, brand, pen name for so long, like 3-4 years now, that I was surprised that they wanted to be crazy about it. But it's fine because I have an email list. I have a website. I have a lot of things with it. That's why I wasn't really willing to give up completely. And I just decided, well, I can make it an imprint. I can have my own ISBNs for it. And then I won't have to I can kind of get myself out of that game. I can just pick pen names that I know they're not going to be crazy about because it's going to be a name. And then I can use that imprint and still, show those books on my website and stuff, because an imprint with different author names is not weird. Harlequin has 1 million writers. All those publishers have 1 million writers, so it's not going to be all that weird. And I think maybe this will be good because then I can kind of I was going to do a children's line of books with this as well. So then I can create a pen name with the children lines of books and then have the imprint name. So I think in the end, this is actually going to be a good thing. So maybe that's what you guys need to do, is just kind of anything that Amazon throws at you, think, how can I turn this into something that's good for me and maybe better? All right. Let's see. You said that, Shola said, you've done what Bailey said with your best performing brands. It's really helped. Good. I haven't tried that with A+ content yet because I've been trying to get these 2 books through. They've taken me like 3-4 months to create, and I've been trying to get them through. And then I was just going to, once they got through, do a bunch of A+ content on them. So what's an imprint name? That's a good question, Becky. Okay, so the imprint name is in Amazon right now. It'll say if your book, you have them do the ISBN, it says independently published on the publisher name. What I did is I bought my own ISBNs, so it will now say my imprint name under the publisher. So it'll say, XXX Press for publisher instead of independently published. So it's like, all the other Harlequin, I can only think of Harlequin right now, but all the other little publisher names you see, I can't think of anything other than Harlequin. Isn't that terrible? But that's what it is. Let's see. I'm only 7 months into KDP and don't want to say something wrong and mess up. The email about the name worried me. Don't worry about those too much. Just change the name, like they said, and send it back. Go for a name. That's what I've decided I'm going to do from now on. It's going to be nothing creative. It'll be a pen name. And there's a lot of pen name generators out there. If you guys want to come up with some fun pen names, type into Google pen name generator, and there's bunch that come up, and then it'll give you a name. And then just make sure, like I said, to run it through Google to make sure there's no famous person with that name. And then run it through Amazon to make sure there's not another person. Or I picked one name and it wasn't exactly the same, but it was close enough. And it came up with illicit photos and pictures with, I guess it was like, anyway, it had a musical artist that was my stuff was a little bit more on the wholesome side. This was not so much. So I totally changed that pen name. Someone searching for my name and finding something completely different, right? So check, kind of look and check those sorts of things. If you have a problem, you can also add like a middle initial or a middle name to try and differentiate yours, so you can use the whole thing first, middle, and last to make sure that your pen name, like I added a middle initial to this pen name just to make sure that it would definitely be different than everybody else's. So you can do things like that. I have like a name for all started my 4 brands. Well, that's good because I had created this brand a long time ago before they had gone with this whole crazy name thing. So definitely do that from now on. You, like I said, this was perfectly fine 3-4 years ago, not now. So you just got to roll with it. It really, like I said, it really upset me because I have a website, I have an email list, I have a lot of things with this. So I decided to buy my ISBNs to try and fix this problem, but yet keep my email list, keep my website, all that sort of thing. Do you actually have a legal publishing to put an imprint name? No, actually, what I did is I went on to Broker, that for the US. You can buy them through several places, but they all go through broker. It's BROWKER, I'm pretty sure. Google it, you'll see it, and you register for their, and they ask you your imprint name to be or your email address, and it's actually pretty easy. You can definitely make a company if you want, but you don't actually have to do anything like that. So it's actually really easy. I literally did it in 20 minutes. The hardest part was paying the $575, which kind of hurt, but I have decided it was what I had to do to, I sell a lot in this brand, so it's worth it to me. All right. Does anyone else have any other questions about all that? So I hope this is helpful. I hope you guys can understand that, like, yeah, it's, even people who've been doing this a while have trip ups with KDP. I went back and forth with them, and they just kept copy and pasting the same thing. Like, we uphold our decision. Okay, fine. You know, it's what it is. All right. If you guys don't have any other questions, that's kind of all I had for today, and I'll let you guys go. Like I said, I won't be live next week, but I will have probably for the next few weeks, since the move, I'm not sure internet wise when we're moving, and yeah, I just don't know how it's all going to work out. So make sure to see, I've got a bunch of videos taped, so I'll have stuff up every week, and I've got a lot of really fun tutorials and some other stuff, and I've got a good interview coming up about Etsy shops and lots of stuff. So I will see you I guess soon. Please check out my YouTube channel, check out my new digital planner, digital notebook course if you're interested in something like that, and it's in the show notes, and I will see you guys soon. All right, bye.